Have you ever noticed that music has some patterns, some formulas, systems that we can use when you're looking for scales, chords, and it's related to math? You can think of many things on music related to math. So today I will show you one system, the circle of fifths, that is very useful not only on theory, but also when you're playing guitar. Get your guitar and come practice with me. Hey guys, I'm Everton Zaquini, and let's talk about the circle of fifths, something that is very useful. It's a little bit of theory, but I want to show you today on the guitar how we can use this system on the guitar. The circle of fifths is a system where it repeats in fifths, alright? We go around a circle with fifths. So what's with it? Why we need to know it? How we can use it on the guitar? Well, let's start with scales. The first thing is very useful for you to find the scales and the accidents inside of the scales. When you think about the major scale, for example, a C major scale, we have a formula, right? You have whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. This is the formula of the major scale. And for that you can build any scale. For example, if you're playing D major scale, it's gonna follow the same sequence. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, and half step. When you play the D major scale and you follow the formula, we're gonna have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. And you can do for all the notes, even for the sharps and flats, you can follow the formula for any of the notes of the scale. Doing the math, you can find all the accidents in sharps. Now, that's when the circle of fifths will come in. Now, when you know the circle of fifths, and it's going to be much faster for you to find the notes and the intervals, accidents inside of the scale. Now, when you have C major scale, we don't have any accident. Now, if you get a fifth above of your C, which is a G, this scale, you have one accident, which is F sharp. So you have just one accident. If you get the fifth of G, which is D, then you have two accidents. If you get the fifth of D, which is A, you have three accidents. The fifth of A, E major, four accidents, and so on, until we reach C sharp with 7 accidents. That's one of the things that is very easy for you to use the circle of fifths, so you can find all the accidents, alright? Now, on the fretboard, you have a little pattern that is easy for you to visualize the circle of fifths as well. When you have C on the A string, this is the first one, we don't have any accident. Above it, you have your fifth, G. So here's one accident. Then on the A string again, you skip 2 frets here, fret 5. Then you have D. On this D, you have 2 accidents. Then above the D here, you have A. Then you have 3 accidents. If you skip here 2 frets, fret 7, A string again, you have 4, E, 4 accidents, 4 sharps. Then above it, B. Okay? Then you have F sharp and C sharp. No accidents, 0 accidents, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this way you find the major scale with all the notes and with the accidents that you want. Now, another thing, when you reach here, you can keep going, but when you reach F sharp and C sharp, this is we can think as well as flats, okay? We have G flat and D flat, which is easier. And here's I will give another tip in a second. Thinking about here, about the sharps, okay, about the fifths ascending, okay, when you have a fifth above. When you have C, no accidents. When you have G major, you have one accident, and this is gonna be F sharp. So this F here become F sharp. On the G major is F sharp. And the sequence of accidents also will follow the circle of fifths. Here, if you have the first accident that you have on the G major scale is F. So in this case, F sharp. The second one will be the fifth of F, which is C. D major has 2 accidents, F sharp and C sharp. If you get the next key, which is A, you're going to have 3 accidents, and it starts with F sharp, C sharp, and the fifth of C, which is G, so G sharp. And when you start here with the C, G, it's gonna follow the same idea, circle of fifths. You can find on the fretboard the same way. You have G sharp, so E major. For accidents, you have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. The next one, B major. So you just add here the A sharp, and it's a pattern. That's why you have so many things related on math and music and some patterns. All right, you can just follow some patterns. Let's just take a look at the accident that we have. When you have G, F sharp, so this F will be here, F sharp. When you have D, F sharp, C sharp. When you have A, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. When you are on E, these three notes, and now D sharp. When you have B, you add A sharp. When you have F sharp, then you add E sharp. We're gonna call it E sharp, all right? And when you have C major, C sharp major, you add C sharp. That's the sequence of accidents when you have fifth above. So that's the sharps, but we also have flats. The flats, there are two ways that I use to explain it. First, circle of fifths, but counterclockwise. So imagine that you have, so it's below. When you have ascending or above or clockwise, you're going to have the sharps. Now, when you're getting backwards or when you're going to a fifth below, then you have the flats. When you have C, a fifth below of C is F, all right? And this F, so here we have one flat. Then the fifth of F, it's B flat. So we have two flats. The fifth of B flat is E flat. Three flats. Then we have A flat. We're gonna have four flats, and it follows the same sequence, okay? So you can start from the F here, or if you prefer, you can get the C now on E string, okay? And here's one thing that I used, and that's the way I learned. Instead of circle of fifths going below, I learned as circle of fourths because it's the other way around. So your intervals of fifth, if you invert your intervals, you're going to have a root and a perfect fourth, okay? So if you have the circle of fourths, if you got your C on the string, on the E string, fret 8, right below you have an F, you come back to frets on E string, you have your fourth again, so here B flat, then below A string E flat, then you come back here, A flat, then D flat, G flat, and C flat, okay? That's how we have, but C flat and B is the same. So for some notes, instead of we think sharp or flat, depending of the key that you're playing, we're gonna think it's easier, right? We think as, for example, B instead of C flat, or G flat instead of F sharp because of the accidents. When you go clockwise, always we think sharps and fifths, all right? And when you're going counterclockwise, you can think as circle of fourths, okay? And it's gonna be always flats, or you can think as a fifth below. So this is the first thing. You can visualize all this case, and automatically you can just add the accidents. Instead of you get the formula, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, you just think about circle of fifths, and it's gonna give you all the accidents. Another thing about this case is that it's gonna work for your relatives as well. So C major, the relative minor is A minor, and it follows the same accident structure. G major in E minor, one accident. D major, B minor, two accidents, and so on. All right, now the next thing that is very interesting when you look at the circle of fifths, we can think about the chord progressions from this scale. You can build these chord progressions, which is really important. You get the first, third, and fifth to build your chords. But also, if you get the circle of fifths, you find your chords just nearby. Take a look at the graph and you can see the C major scale, right? So if you get to your left and to your right, you're going to have the chords. C major, you have the minor relative below, which is A minor. But then you can look at side of the C, at both sides. You have G, F, and their minor relatives, which is from F, D minor, and from G, E minor. And these six chords, C, A minor, F, D minor, G, and E minor, are chords from the C major scale. So you can use these chords to build a song. We don't have the 7th degree, which is the diminished triad or half diminished chord, but these 6 chords are very common when you see chord progressions in many songs. So we have C major, A minor, then you look at the side, you have F, D minor, and you have G, E minor, and then C. So these chords are the chords that you have inside of the key of C major. If you move, and then you have G. Now you look at the side, you have G, C, and then you have on the other side, you have D. These are the 3 major chords from G major, G, C, and D, the 1, 4, 5, and then below you have their relatives, but also the chords from G major. So we have G major, and then you can have E minor, you can have A minor, and you can have B minor. All these 6 chords are part of the G major. We just left out the 7th degree. You can get this table of the circular fifths with the chords, and you can try to compose a song, play the chords, see what sequence of chords combine that this sounds good for you or that you can find on songs. It's a pretty good exercise. You can also put in order, like, because on the circular fifths it's in a different order, but you can put like the 1st degree, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. As this is a formula, it's gonna be always the same. 1, 4, 5 major, 2, 3, 6 minor. Alright, and here another thing is about the key of the song, especially on scores. Everything's about the key, so that's your main note. You have a C, and then you can find how many sharps or flats that you have, and the chords. This is about the key of the song. But also, if you look at the score, at the beginning of the score, you can see how many sharps you have, or flats, or if it doesn't have any sign at all. And this means the key of the song. If you look at score, for example, it can be a tablature, and if you have the tablature below and the score above, you can look at the beginning of the score and look if it has some sharps or flats. If it doesn't have anything, it means that the key of the song is C major. Very common for guitar songs on E minor, alright? Especially rock songs. So if you look at the score and you have just one sharp, you know that the song is G major or E minor. So you just look at the chord progression, you just need to figure out if it's G major or E minor, but they share the same notes, so they are relatives. So this way you can quickly find the key of the song. Instead of you look at all the chords, scale notes, you just look at the score, see how many sharps it has or how many flats, that's the key of the song. If, for example, if it has 3 flats, it's E flat. If it has 5 sharps, it's B major or G sharp minor, because they are relatives. So it's very useful for you to figure out the key of the song as well. So this is a circle of fifths that it's music theory, but really important for your playing, for your practice. I hope that this video can help you. This is just a little bit, there are other things, and usually it takes time for you to master the circle of fifths. It's not only one day, so you need to be practicing, looking for other keys, and practicing looking at the key of songs. Get used to the fifths, and this way it's very fast. Even that if you haven't memorized, it's easy for you to find on the guitar as well. I hope this video helped you a lot. Just let me know, put in the comments, it's really important to me. Don't forget your like, because your like will help this video to reach more people. And if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, subscribe and ring the bell for you to miss the lessons that I post. I see you on the next lesson. Thanks for watching, see you next time.